everyone, I'm Sari.
And I'm Kayla, and I just got some new glasses.
And we're here for Pre-Shabbos circle time this week. Thanks for joining us. Can you start by drawing some big circles? It's circle time, it's circle time, it's circle time today. It's circle time, let's all shout hooray! Oh, I can't hear you. Can you try that a bit louder? 1, 2, 3. So much louder. Great job, everyone. Can anyone tell me, what does the cow say? And what does the train say? And what does the bird say? The cow is in the barn, it goes moo moo moo. The train is on the track, it goes choo choo choo. The bird is in the tree, it goes tweet tweet. All are saying moda'ani, moda'ani lefanecha melechai v'kayam shehachazarta bi nishmati b'chemla rabba emunatecha. Great job, everyone. You might have noticed that there's something funny happening behind us. And we are going to tell you what it is, because we have a special new segment on Pre-Shabbos Circle Time,
Cats.
which is, no, it's not a cat segment, which is our Hebrew word of the day.
מילה, היום.
The Hebrew word of the day today is chatulim, cats. Ani ohevet chatulim.
Thank you so much, Kayla. Toda Rabbi. Can everyone show me your Shabbos angels? The Shabbos angels are peeking through my window. Emma's lighting candles, but no one's gone to show. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom to every one of you. Good Shabbos, everybody.
And everyone of you too.
Let's make some challah for Shabbos. Let's all get out our big spoons. Let's mix the sticky batter. Watch it rise and grow. Time to do a mitzvah and pinch off a piece of dough. Braid and braid a challah as neatly as you're able. Slide it in the oven, then on the Shabbos table. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, did we forget to say the bracha?
Of course you did.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
Then you need to wait and make another challah. Okay, let's get it. Let's mix
the sticky batter. Watch it rise and grow. Time to do a mitzvah and pinch off a piece of dough. Braid and braid a challah as neatly as you're able. Slide it in the oven, then on the Shabbos table. Then we say the bracha, and then we eat our challah. Yum! Great job, everyone.
Stuff our mouths full.
Yeah, we want to be very polite. Let's sing about one of our favorite Shabbos guests, our dinosaur.
And the cat. What about let's do a cat knocking on the door?
What a great idea. Oh, we'll have to say like a big fat cat, maybe? Oh, there's a big fat cat knocking at our door. Knocking 1, 2, 3. Yes, there's a big fat cat knocking at our door, and he's come to spend Shabbat with me. First we bless the candles, then we bless the wine, then we bless the challah, and we all eat dinner together. Oh, there's a big fat cat knocking at our door. Knocking 1, 2, 3. Yes, there's a big fat cat knocking at our door, and he's come to spend Shabbat with me. Nicely done, everyone. That was a new song.
Big
Now,
fat cat song.
Let's see what Rabbi Scher has to say about this week's Parsha.
Hi everyone, and Shabbat Shalom. This week's Torah portion, Parashat Vayera, is chock full of amazing stories of the Jewish people's early history. And one of those stories is all about the birth of Yitzchak, the birth of the son of Avraham and Sarah, which means the birth of the first Jewish child. because there was the first child born to Avraham and Sarah. So it's an extremely exciting Parsha. Check it out. And I'm going to miss you in shul this week. But please, when you say Adon Olam at home, please remember to give me a virtual high five or a virtual handshake. And Shabbat Shalom, and I hope I get to see you soon.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Scher. Today we have a very special story in our theme called The Cats on Ben Yehuda Street.
The Cats on Ben Yehuda Street. Up and down Ben Yehuda Street, cats, cats, cats. Cats curling up on benches and stretching underneath. Cats licking their paws on porches and climbing in leafy branches. Free cats, fat cats, living on the sidewalk cats. Cats with no collars, for collars show that cats belong to somebody, and street cats belong to no one but themselves. Messy, meowing, useless cats, muttered Mr. Modiano as he unlocked the Tel Aviv fish palace each morning. All day long he shooed cats from his doorway. But every night when Mr. Modiano climbed the stairs to his apartment, 2 cats dozed on a cushion by Mrs. Spiegel's door. "Your cat brings more cats." He pointed at Ketsi, Mrs. Spiegel's little gray cat with a pink collar lying on a pillow next to Gatito, a fluffy white cat with no collar at all. Then Mr. Modiano would give Mrs. Spiegel whatever fish he had left over, arranged on a platter just so. "This fish is fit for a queen, not for cats," he warned. "Thank you," Mrs. Spiegel said, "and would you maybe like to come in for a little tea?" But Mr. Modiano always said no. Lo, lo, lo. As soon as Mr. Modiano closed his door, Mrs. Spiegel put the fish into a bowl for the 2 cats to share. But the apartment building rule said just 1 cat, so after dinner only Ketsi could come inside. Mrs. Spiegel liked the way Ketsi helped her knit, and the way Ketsi kept her company in the kitchen. She liked it when Ketsi licked her face to wake her up in the morning. She liked the way Ketsi was always there. One night Mr. Modiano brought salmon. "This is for you, not your cat," he said, just barely stroking Gatito's back. "Thank you," Mrs. Spiegel said. "Would you like to maybe come in for a little tea?" Mr. Modiano always said no. Lo, lo, lo. The next night Mr. Modiano brought a plate of pickled herring. "I almost tripped on this wild animal," he muttered, just barely tickling Gatito's tail. "A nice cat like this would keep you company," Mrs. Spiegel told him. "Company?" Mr. Modiano frowned. "What does an old man need with messy, meowing company?" "Well, would you like to maybe come in for a little tea?" she asked. Mr. Modiano always said no. Lo, lo, lo. Every morning Mrs. Spiegel walked to the beach with Ketsi to breathe in the salty smell of the Mediterranean Sea. As soon as they neared the waves, Ketsi ran home. She didn't like to be close to the water. When Ketsi got home from the beach, she and Gatito waited on the porch for Mrs. Spiegel to return. Until one day when Ketsi wasn't there. "Where is Ketsi?" asked Mrs. Spiegel. Gatito's nose was poking through the railing as if he was looking for Ketsi too. Mrs. Spiegel clumped downstairs. She searched up and down Ben Yehuda Street, between the buildings and under the tables at the sidewalk cafe. She asked everyone she met, "Have you seen my Ketsi?" Everybody had seen plump cats and skinny cats, spotted cats and striped cats, but no little gray cat with a pink collar. Everybody pointed to wrong-sized, wrong-colored, wrong-faced cats. Mrs. Spiegel dragged her sad self home. Mr. Modiano was leaning out the door of the fish palace, shooing away cats. "What's wrong, silly Gatito?" he said. "He isn't silly," Mrs. Spiegel said. "Ketsi is gone." "Cats," said Mr. Modiano. "Maybe she ran away." Mrs. Spiegel burst into tears and clumped up to her apartment. She tried to eat, but she wasn't hungry. She tried to knit, but without Ketsy in her lap she couldn't. When Mr. Modiano came by, she did not invite him in for tea. "I know you have a low opinion of cats," she said, "but my Ketsy would never run away. If not for something terrible happening, my Ketsy would come back." Mr. Modiano left quietly. Then a most unusual thing happened. Mrs. Spiegel heard the noisy putt-putting of a motor scooter in the alley. There sat Mr. Modiano, perched on the back of his scooter. "Don't worry," he called up to Mrs. Spiegel. "Humph," Mrs. Spiegel muttered, as if she would worry about a cat-hating man like Mr. Modiano. Mrs. Spiegel paced up and down in her apartment. She thought about going to bed, but the idea of waking up without Ketsy there to lick her face made her cry. Then long after midnight she heard putt-putting in the alley. Outside on the porch Gatito meowed. And then there was more meowing. Mrs. Spiegel ran down the stairs. Mr. Modiano held a little gray cat with a pink collar, her front legs sticking straight out in a stiff white cast. "My Ketsy!" Mrs. Spiegel cried, burying her face in the soft gray fur. "Cats," said Mr. Modiano, gently cradling Ketsy as Gatito rubbed against his leg. "I found her at the animal hospital. She must have had a tussle with a car. Silly cat. But she's going to be fine." The next morning Mrs. Spiegel put Ketsy in a basket to walk to the sea. "We'll just get close enough to smell the salt," she said. But when they got back, Gatito was not on the landing. Not only that, the cushion was gone too. "Oh no!" said Mrs. Spiegel. Just then Mr. Modiano opened his door. Sitting neatly on the cushion in the middle of the living room, just so, was a fluffy white cat with a new blue collar. Gatito! "Don't look so surprised," said Mr. Modiano. "You think I want to hunt all night for this one, too?" Mrs. Spiegel smiled. "Mr. Modiano," she said, "would you like to maybe come in for a little tea?" Mr. Modiano said, "Lo, lo, lo." Then he opened his door even wider and he smiled too. "But maybe I could make a cup of tea for you," he said, "and a saucer of milk for your cat."
What a fun story.
I like Gatito the best.
Now let's all stand up. Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe, Morah Kehilat Yaakov, Morah Kehilat Yaakov, Morah Kehilat Yaakov, Torah Tziva lanu Moshe. Great job, everyone. Now let's all sit down. Twinkle, twinkle, kochavim, way up in the shamayim. If we say Shema tonight, everything will be alright. Twinkle, twinkle, kochavim, way up in the shamayim. Now everyone cover your eyes for Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantan levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shavtecha v'kumecha u'kshartam liot al yodecha v'hayu letotefo b'neinecha u'tavtam ma'mezuzah beitecha Uvisharecha. Looks like Kayla and her cat fell asleep. Look at all the sleeping cats sleeping until noon. Come, let us wake them with a merry tune. They're so still, are they ill? Wake up, little cat. let's all stand up. I've got that Shabbos feeling up in my head, up in my head, up in my head. I've got that Shabbos feeling up in my head, up in my head today. I've got that Shabbos feeling deep in my heart, deep in my heart, deep in my heart. I've got that Shabbos feeling deep in my heart, deep in my heart today. I've got that Shabbos feeling out in my hands, out in my hands, out in my hands. I've got that Shabbos feeling out in my hands, out in my hands today. I've got that Shabbos feeling down in my toes, down in my toes, down in my toes. I've got that Shabbos feeling down in my toes, down in my toes today. Good Shabbos, everyone.
Happy cat.